Women and the leader in visibility conferences for women founders through stages and community. Who's up next in the golden chair? Join us. I'm your host, Christina Vidovich of Women Getting Visible. I am so excited to have you join me on this episode of Women Getting Visible for this incredible guest. She is all about her C-suite. Let me introduce Natalie. Welcome, Natalie.
Hey, Christina. So good to be with you. Thanks for having me with you.
Oh, I am so excited to share you with my world, the world, your world, and every other corner of the universe.
Amazing. Amazing. I can't wait.
Oh, so where in the universe are you? And tell us a little bit more about what you are doing.
Thank you so much. Today I'm in Chicagoland. It's a broad statement. We are in snow. I know you're having different weather, but we have big snow today. So I'm definitely not done with winter. But I think what we have synergistically is about helping lift women up. And that is what her C-suite is about. We're the result of the 5 plus us, 6 people we surround ourselves with. And it's all about helping women build what's next. And we're a portfolio, career, network, and community designed to do just that.
I love that. You know, it's only been about a year ago that someone had said the 5 people that you're surrounded by. And I sat with that and went, let me examine that and let me lift it up even higher, because it's so true. Who we surround ourselves by really affect who we are, as well as who is the person that is motivating us and who is the person that is cheering us on and who might be holding us back, including ourselves sometimes.
Yeah. And then who can level us up, right? It's like the person that's gone before us, just one step. That's all we need is one step ahead to inspire us to make that move ourselves. And I think that's the thing that we all can do in our lives, is to inspire someone around us, next to us, below us, above us, to take that next step.
Yes. And I love it because you are inspiring. I just have to say that, you know, from the time that we've met and had conversations, I'm inspired. But tell us about her C-suite. How did it happen? Where did it come from?
It started a long time ago, believe it or not, probably about 13 years ago. So it was a while in the making. I started my journey of leadership for women. And in 2020, I was in trade shows. I led a company division here in Chicago for trade shows. And anyone that did events remembers March. And I had about 1,000 shows end on one day. And I helped my company work on digital transformation and help the team sustain through the end of 2020. But I kind of felt, I always say, doors closed, windows open. It's up to us to fly through. And I realized that was my moment to live what I think I'm designed to do, which is to lift women up. And so I started with conversations with 11 women. And we had 2 cohorts, and can you imagine, we were meeting every week, and we had Saturdays, because what are you going to do? There's nothing else to do. But the company has grown quite a bit and evolved, and we've really started to focus in about 3 years ago on women in the second half of our careers and understanding that we have these pivotal choices, and what are we going to do? Do we land a board role? Do we start a business? And so it's been really thrilling to be alongside these amazing women and seeing their evolution of figuring out what's next, inspiring a book that we wrote last year, Power of What's Next. So there's just been a lot of growth and excitement around that. And I'm just honored and thrilled to be with them.
That is so exciting. And my question is, where are you meeting them? Are you meeting at a point where they're in transition, before transition, or somewhere along the road?
Their journey is unique to them. So it could be someone in corporate planning on their next chapter. It could be someone that has already exited a corporate career and they've decided they're going to get on a board, or it could be someone that's an entrepreneur who wants to scale her business and left corporate and isn't getting traction, or wants better traction, or feels like it's kind of lonely being alone. So all of the above. It's really more so that has at least 20 years that she's experienced in her life experience. And there's a lot of different, you're in different places.
Yeah. So what about you? In your career, how has what you have experienced really influenced what you're doing today?
As I think back about, leadership and growth, one of the most pivotal things, as I was referencing, it's been 13 years, but really it's been about 16 years. I joined an organization. I want to recommend to everyone who's watching today to find the opportunity for experiential leadership in volunteering. So I went to a program. I can remember it like yesterday. I wanted to expand my personal network. And this was in 2010 when nobody was really thinking about this or talking about it. And I thought, I just really need to be around more women. And so I went to an event, and that was the Healthcare Business Women's Association event. And I watched from the back of the room. I was trying to be like fading away. And I saw this amazing woman up at the front of the stage, and she had this amazing panel. And I was like, wow, I have to get involved. So I immediately volunteered. I joined. And 6 months later, I was on the board, and I was at her house being invited to be on the board. And so I think being intentional and thinking about what you're doing is really key to personal growth and figuring out what you're going to do next. I don't know if I answered your question. I just went on this long tangent. I'd be like, where are you with this story?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, and it's interesting too, because volunteering, some people like shy away from the whole concept of, oh, what is that going to look like? Time commitment. But I really think of it, just like you said, as an opportunity for growth. I mean, you're going to spend the time learning. What better way than just to dive in? And so tell me that in your experience when you're advising other people, that you want them out in those moments.
Well, I have a great example of someone that in her C-suite who went through our board readiness retreat, and she's in our board program, and she intentionally became a certified mentor, and she's in an accelerator, and she knew that she would make great introductions and friends and that type of thing, but it also served as a pathway to her landing a very exciting advisory board role to a PE organization. So I think you have to think about your volunteering strategically, that it has to be something you care about. So she cares about mentoring and helping others, but also that there's synergy with the other leaders. It's an opportunity for you to grow. And what we were talking about earlier about the person that's the step ahead of you might be sitting next to you. And you're talking and what are you interested in? And then when you clearly articulate what it is, that makes the whole thing meaningful. It's not to say that you shouldn't volunteer, because I was a co-founder of an animal rescue. So it's not like you can't have these these deep purpose driven passions. But I think there's things that you can do to intentionally surround yourself with people along the way. And that's a great idea to do. It's not something you should shy away from. You should intentionally follow your passion, but also surround yourself with people that lift you up.
Oh, and you said two things that are so important when it comes to the visibility journey, is that clarity, like knowing exactly what it is that you want, what you're trying to get out of your time, and be clear. I mean, simply just be clear about that with yourself so that you aren't stuck spinning your wheels once again.
Yes, exactly. I think what you're doing is so important to give people that confidence. So even once you have decided that's what you want to do, then you have to work on that what you're going to say. And I love that that's part of what you're doing, is helping women get that boost of energy and confidence in doing that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, because it's ourselves. I believe it's all within us already. It's kind of, I liken it to that piece of jewelry that's been sitting in your drawer, and shining it back up and getting it clear again and saying, hey, it's been there the entire time. Let's get it out there and share it. And the best way to share is through community. And just what you were saying there about sitting next to somebody that you have no idea until you start to share a conversation where you might be able to help someone, or they might be able to help you. I think community is so important. How has community helped you as you have moved forward with your own career?
Well, I started her C-suite, and it has become a thriving community. So community is everything to me. It's my whole life right now, is helping women connect and make those connections. And I think the further you go, what I've heard, and I heard this from hundreds of women, and as you know, I've got a podcast, hearing stories that women, the further they go, they feel siloed. And when you have a community of like-minded women that are on the journey, they're not on your exact journey, but they're on the journey with you, you don't feel siloed. And that's the benefit of community, of being able to then contact someone, ask her for advice. And it's always wonderful when I hear about these conversations I have no idea about. So you make that one connection or two connections, and then they come back and they're like, oh, I met with this person, I met with that person. And you're like, oh, I didn't even know about that. That's great. So it's the magic, the ripple effect of the community is amazing. And I think that's so important, to just see it going along in an impactful way is thrilling.
Yes. And I love it. Ripple effect. It's so funny because the universe has been giving me that message the last few weeks of just ripple effect. We've been talking about it in our visibility accountability group. I just saw a post today that talked about it. And here you are again, talking about the ripple effect. And I love the power of threes. I'm like, yep, there it is again. It's so important. And one of the things I want to take our mid-roll break now is to talk about that community and the visibility accountability that we offer as well for women who are trying to step up into their own light, as well as being part of that community to have other women lift that light. Share your story. Own your name. Step in the light. Ignite your flame. Show up, shine out. It's time to be heard. Flip fear into power with every word. Visibility, accountability. We write a wild new legacy. Yeah, so for anyone interested in more visibility accountability, join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And now back to you, Natalie.
Wonderful. I love that. I love accountability. I think that is the one piece of a community that can help you when you've got that person or the group that you feel like, oh, I've got that meeting on Wednesday. I better do the thing I said I was going to do because I've got that meeting and I have to report back. Do people say that to you, that they feel like, oh, I better have it in place, right?
Yes. And even, giving little bits of, homework of just things, it's not like school, there's no grade on it. It's just what it's going to help you when somebody else says, hey, did you do that thing yet? Because it's only going to move you forward. And we get so caught up in the noise of everything going on, from social media to current things that are going on in the world right now, as well as our own work that gets sometimes put on hold because we're taking care of so many things in our life. And it's so wonderful to be able to have, a group of women who are going to support you. And that to me is so wonderful. Just like the work that you're doing, it's like lifting other women up. And I mean, raise the roof. Okay.
Yes. Everybody watching this, we hope that you're celebrating with us. Comment in the chat. We'd love to comment on what you're saying and lift you up as well. So
exactly. So What's next for you, Natalie? You have been doing so many incredible things. What is in your future cast?
So good. I have a lot of things in the future. I think probably too many things people would say, but we are focused on really creating a new ecosystem for women to do business. So that is the thing I'm most excited about. And we are working on helping women get on boards. We have a one-day summit. So lots of fun things coming up with her C-suite, but all around moving us forward and helping women drive the conversation, whether it's AI or on a board or with business. So all the things. Thank you for asking. I'm excited.
Yes, yes. So let's dive into that a little bit. What is advice that you have for a woman who has never been on a board before? Who's thinking, what is being on a board and what am I going to do on a board?
Well, I love the comment we had earlier about clarity. So you have to first identify what it is that you want to do, right? And understand that there's 9 different types of boards. So there's different types of boards. There is a board for you. It depends on what your path is and what your expertise is and things like that. But there's, of course, nonprofit. That's the one that everybody knows about. But there's also advisory boards. There's corporate boards, family boards, private boards. And of course, the one that everyone remembers is the public board. And that is at a different level than the ones that I listed before. And so I want to encourage everyone, it's never too early or too late to plan, but you have to make the plan. So decide that that's what you want to do and then find the resources to make that happen. And it does take a lot of work. It takes dedication, accountability, like you said. We have Momentum, which is an accountability program inside her C-suite after women go through our board readiness retreats and things, just because we want to help them and encourage them. So I think that accountability is really important, but it's the highest level of a company. And so it's exciting. If you like innovation, if you like having your nose in and hands out of a company, it's a great opportunity for you. And I want to encourage everyone to realize, because a lot of times people think I have to have been in the C-suite, I have to have had this big role. But wherever you are, there is a path. And so I want to encourage you, even it doesn't matter where you are in your journey. And my partner, Naomi Kent, and I talk about this a lot. We want to encourage young women to start making that pathway. So that's why it's never too early or too late to start.
Yeah. Well, and here's another question is, oh my goodness, if I do that, how am I going to have time for my family, for my work, for everything I'm doing? Do you have advice for someone who is looking at that life-work balance?
Well, I think, there's no longer a linear path. We live a portfolio life today. So the idea of you have to do one thing and it's always the one thing. So I like to borrow what one of my members had shared with me once, which was a pie. And if you think of a pie and you have slices, you're going to have different amounts of space depending on where you are. If you are a mom and you have kids that are in school, the slice is going to be much bigger for that, as it should be. And then the career might have a different lens or different slice size. So I think I don't think there's balance. I think there's intention and deciding on where you want to spend your time with the slices. That's really my best suggestion, because the world is changing so fast that you have to decide what's important to you and put your time in those in the percentages that make you happy, bring you joy.
Yes, you said another one of my favorite buzzwords, intention.
Yes.
So
yes, because I think we think we're going to be balanced if we do less of this and put our time, but you have to, first of all, not be afraid to say no, and then also say yes. So say no is the hardest word, and it is a sentence, no. So, and I'm the worst at, I'm always happy and want to help and things like that, but we do have to, that does change the shift of where we're spending our slices, right?
Exactly. And it's so important because I know even from my life, I've done the same thing, with having my son, being a homeschool mom, as well as running my entire, entrepreneurial company globally, of like, how do I do that? And where am I making sure that I'm intentional with that time, that it's whatever it is, I want to be able to be in it the fullest, whether I'm with my son or I'm in a meeting or whatever. I want to be intentional, make sure that I'm making the best of all of that. And I think that's beautiful, what you just said there is it's beyond balance, it's intention. Ooh.
Yeah. I love it.
So I love this question. And it's a question that I've asked, especially other podcasters as well, when I go to podcast conferences. What does visibility mean to you, and why does it matter?
That's such a great question in this day, because I was working today on visibility with websites. We're doing a webinar next week, and so it's a workshop rather. Visibility, I think there's personal visibility and there's corporate visibility, and they're intertwined. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a solopreneur, many times your brand is the brand. I know I have pink, I'm wearing pink. I mean, right? Like I am. And people say, you're the brand. So how you show up is really important in terms of your brand, but visibility is your thought leadership. It's how people think of you. It's whether they know to recommend you because you've had conversations. So there's a whole thing that you have to do to be front of mind, to be visible. So being on podcasts, being a speaker, writing books, those are all great ways and tools to get visibility. But if you have a business and you're online, it's all changed. How you get found, your visibility. Now we're buying inside ChatGPT or other places. So with the constant change of the world, visibility means something different than it might have even a year ago. If you had asked me this a year ago, I would have been all about, kind of the first half of what I was saying. But today, with AI and everything else, you have to infuse that into what you're thinking, because it is impacting how people find you. I think the other thing with visibility is trust. You want to build trust with people. And when you're in person, which you do these amazing in-person events, that's where people can trust you. They see you. They're like, oh, Christina, I'm so glad to meet you. Doesn't that happen to you when you're at your events? And like, oh, I get to meet you at Words Head. It's the best. I love seeing people that have heard on podcasts. So I think the more that you can build the trust through your voice, through being on shows like this, it gives you visibility and consistency. But it's a very complex question today, much more complex than it used to be. That's for sure.
Indeed. And it's amazing, because to me, it matters so much, because there's so many incredible stories out there. There's so many incredible journeys out there. And to be able to share our knowledge with other people, to get out there in the midst of all the noise, and to be a real human being beyond AI, because when I show up, I am not a robot. I am a real person.
Yes, this is real. It is not. We are not computer generated at all.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you can't fake a warm hug,
No, you cannot. You cannot. Although I spend a lot of my time in AI. That's where I spend. You're asking me about exciting, and I spend a lot of my time in this, or one of our verticals next to Lead AI. So it's not that you shouldn't be in it, but the human element of visibility, being in person, you can't. That is something we should never forget.
Exactly. 100%. I'm with you again. Let's raise the roof again, Natalie. Raise the roof.
Exactly.
And so my question for you, and I love this one, is legacy. What is the legacy that you want to leave behind with your life and the work that you're doing when it's time to say, I'm putting down my pink pen today?
My pink pen. Yes, my pink pen. I really want to be a force multiplier, shaping a new collaborative economy. And 100 years from now, I would love to have no more silos and break down those barriers and have female-led businesses thrive, as well as women's health. So that's the legacy I hope, and I'm excited about, and I really hope that we can make that happen in our lifetime.
You know what? I think we can, with the work that I'm doing, with the work you're doing, and the work that we're going to find ourselves doing together. I think we have some amazing things coming up in front of us.
We do. I'm excited.
So Natalie, how does someone find you? How do they get in touch with you to learn more about what you do and even possibly have a one-on-one with you?
Thank you so much for that question. The best place to find me is on LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. Reach out to me. I would love to connect, of course, for csuite.com, but I love connecting with people on LinkedIn. So if people reach out to me, I promise I will respond. If you have a question about anything that we talked about today or anything that we're doing, visit me on LinkedIn. I have a few pages on LinkedIn for Her C-Suite and for Her Health X, my nonprofit, and I'm happy to answer questions in any of those places on LinkedIn. So connect with me there.
Fantastic. Her C-Suite. And let me say your name properly, Natalie. Well, Natalie Benamou.
Benamou. Yes, close. So close. Yes. You're so, and I know we did I practiced your name too when we did our podcast. So we have fun names that are great to say.
Yes. Exactly. That's half of the fun. Oh my goodness. Natalie, I am so thrilled to have you here today. And I can't wait to actually get to see you in person.
Yes, at one of your conferences. I can't wait. I cannot wait to be at one of them. They sound amazing. So thank you for the important work you're doing, Christina. It matters.
Thank you, and thank you for your work and Her C-Suite. And my friends, that is this episode of Women Getting Visible. And thank you again, Natalie, for joining us today.
Thanks, Christina.
Who's up next in the Golden Chair? Join us next week. I'm your host, Christina Vidovich of Women Getting Visible.